15 minutes of the second quarter.
And the centre bounce again. 18-point lead to the Double Blues as McVicker waits for the bounce. Sims, McVicker fists it forward to Dean. Dean screws one round the corner, taken by Hardeman. Oh, beautiful football, Gary Hardeman. Now runs into trouble, but still managed to get his kick. Sims boots it off the ground. Darryl Smith runs into trouble. Wiseman backing up from half-back is now at half-forward. That's clever football to Hollis. Ball won't sit nicely for him. Now it does. He gives it to Wiseman. Here's an opportunity for the Double Blues. Wiseman kick, however, just across the face of goal, has gone very wide and out of bounds.
Did it well on that occasion, Wiseman. Jeff Wiseman down from his half-back flank, straight through the centre of the ground, ultimately having a shot for goal, but the wind took it out of bounds on the full.
Sturt haven't scored in the second term, but this is a golden opportunity. One of the few times they've been into attack. The Bay's out of trouble, however. Lahoo's long handball is picked up by Marshall. His hurry kick goes towards centre wing, very close to the line. Comp can't get there. Throw in front of the Channel 9 commentary position. And of course this qualifying final coming to you from Channel 9. McVicker and Sims tangle arms, fall to the ground, taken by Craig, lost by Craig, picked up by Weston, slipped it beautifully to Corns. Corns over the top to Farquhar, evades the tackle of Hardeman, lines up the goals from 55 metres out, but his kick is offline and 1 point. 1 point to Michael Farquhar to take to Glenelg 4-7. Double Blues is 6-12.
Distance certainly not the problem with kicking with this breeze today. Accuracy is. Both sides haven't been able to capitalise fully because of the conditions of that breeze.
17 points the difference now as Hill brings the ball back into play. McFarlane's over there, but it's taken by Fry. His kick forward, Holst. A long hand pass over to Craig. It stands up delightfully for Craig. Off he bounces his way down the field. That's 3 bounces he's had. Let's see what the delivery is like. It's a good one in the area of Holst. Hollis couldn't get it, and the umpire is right on the scene. And that was a very quick play down the outer side of the oval. Hargraves, number 26, is underneath the ball. Kuhlman tries to fist it clear. Weston's up there as well. He gets the fist across, taken by Hodgman. Now away goes Kimmy Hodgman. There's 3 bounces. The kick in towards the centre half-forward position as finds Copping, and that's a good mark taken on the chest of Stephen Copping.
Excellent play by Kimmy Hodgman. That, in fact, was his 16th kick.
Big influence on the game, and that's a bad mistake being taken by Stephen Copping. Mark Heinrichs there. Felt he could have made the distance if Copping had gone on. Good play by Hardeman yet again. Kim Klomp. Too high was the tackle. The umpire calls the play on. That's right. The kick down by Heinrich. Behind now. Here's the chance for Hollis. The left-footed full forward goes forward and finds Heinrich. Heinrich is a frisky little bloke. He's in the left full forward pocket. The breeze is coming across his left shoulder. It would require a huge kick to kick this goal. This is his 6th kick on the way as well. He's been more than useful so far as Heinrich. And at the 18-minute mark, the kick goes up, and it's been marked by Hargraves. Unattended.
Well, that was a very, very intelligent kick by Heinrich on that occasion. He allowed plenty for that breeze. It looked like going out of bounds on the full. It's come right across the face of goal, and it's been marked, as you correctly called, by Peter Hargraves, and he gets an opportunity from right alongside the goalpost.
The check side kick is going to be selected here. Hargraves coming in, got right in close. It's a goal. That's the first goal kicked into this horrible breeze here at Football Park. 7 goals, 12. That's their first score for the quarter, and it's a goal. Glenelg trailing 4 goals, 7.
Well, we put that goal down against Hargrave, but there's the kick that did it. The kick of Heinrichs that was just so intelligent that allowed the ball to drift across the face of goal for Hargrave to take the easy mark. Sturt have kicked away 7-12 to Bays 4-7.
Centre bounce again. Wilson does battle. Twiggy Corbell ruefully gets to his feet, but the umpire will bounce. 7-12 plays 4-7 at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter. Sims punched forward by Weston towards half forward. Farquhar the opportunity. Over the top goes the ball. Mark Heinrich, who is playing well, very well in defence, gets it across towards Richard Hill. Richard Hill's short kick is out of bounds on the full again. And Richard Hill has done that on a couple of occasions. Now McFarland is that takes the free kick, plays on, now booms one in towards the square, off the arms of Davies. He goes back, recovers, slips it back, but it's taken by Walter. Walter's kick towards the square, over the head of Dean, recovered by Dean. The ball balances on his shoulder, he's been held, not in possession, and the free kick's gone to Robert Dean. Do you see it that way, Bob Hammond?
Well, it was an unfortunate situation for Gary Hardeman. I'm sure when he tackled him, it was in the arms of Dean, but it rolled around the back of Dean. He wasn't actually in possession, and the umpires had judged it correctly to allow Dean to have a shot from 20 metres out dead in front.
Point blank range is Robert Dean. It's a drop punt. It looks very accurate. It's a goal. His first, and the Bays badly need it. 5-7 they are, trailing Sturt 7-12, 21 minutes into the second quarter.
Well, both sides doing everything they can. Let's have a look. The ball eluded Dean on that occasion. It's around to behind his back, and Hardeman's pulled him when not in possession, and the umpire saw it correctly, as you just saw it on your screen, and Dean the free kick, and that, of course, he made no mistake from. 5-7 Glenelg, Sturt 7-12, 21 minutes into the second quarter.
Centre bounce down. Trevor Sims. Paul Weston is there. Hardeman. Here's the chance now for Wilson. Dropping the ball. It's a darn good tackle.
Great tackle by Farquhar. Farquhar now playing loose down in the forward lines with Davies deep in defence.
And playing very well is Michael Farquhar. Forward it goes, taken by Davies again. Out towards the line. It just gets there before Paul Weston could get to the ball, and it's out of play. 22 minutes into the second quarter. A vital quarter for Glenelg. If they're going to have any chance of winning this game, they have to score some goals very quickly. Wiseman tackled beautifully again. Stephen Copping this time, and the tackling has been excellent this afternoon by both sides. Once again, Rick having a chat to umpire Mead. Wiseman shrugged Davies aside then. It also has an effect on their teammates, this constant hackling and heckling by Davies, but it doesn't worry Stephen Copping one little bit. He's belted it through for his first, and Glenelg scores a little healthier now, Bob Hammond.
The bounce again in this fairly high standard qualifying final, considering the trying conditions. Sturt trying to work the ball forward. Derrington, it was on the bottom of the pack. No, it's Heinrich, number 16, the little terrier. He can't get the ball clear, and umpire Hilton it is that will bounce. Centre wing. 54 plays 43 as Corns goes up and gets the tap. Klomp on the ground, couldn't handle it. Heinrich appeared to get a push in the back. Play allowed to go on. Now it's whistled up by umpire Hilton. Glenelg in this quarter have added 6 goals, 5, and Sturt, of course, the one solitary goal, and that was a great goal off the boot of Hargraves. Klomp takes the ball out of the air, gets pulled around the neck by McVicker, and the little blonde fella gets one in the chops to go on with. Feigned another one there, nothing in that.
He got the Quinella, really.
Klomp kicks it to Craig. Craig's handball. Ball sets up for Corns. In trouble. Caught, holding the ball.
Heinrich again in the thick of things, brought Corns, I should say, to ground very, very successfully. Wherever there's a pack milling, you'll find Philip Heinrich right on the bottom of it, and he's been a tiger for Sturt today.
Philip Heinrich it is with the ball. Taking plenty of time, and of course the Double Blues wanting to hold up the play. They're going into this very strong win. An old runner on the field talking to umpire Hilton, waving his finger, and that's unusual. Short kick from Heinrich has found Friedrichs, and I don't think that's going to do the Glenelg cause one little bit of good. As Friedrichs kicks high, the ball again sits up in the breeze from behind, almost marked by Holst. Hargraves slips it to Hollis. Hollis has a kick in towards the goal, but he's offline. Ball bounces back. It was a leg break, in fact, to come back for a point. 7-13 the Double Blues, Glenelg 6-7. Bob Hammond, what do you think of that? The runner being on the ground talking to the umpire.
Well, it's not on. It's obvious they're disappointed with the decision, but that's not going to alter the umpire's mind one little bit.
Beautiful kick from Kuhlman, right in towards the centre position it goes. Corns, he just cannot get to the ball today. Wiseman overran it. Beautiful shepherding there by Hardeman. Wiseman in towards the centre half forward position, and there's a good mark taken by Trevor Sims. Old Faithful. Down to Craig. Forward. Heinrich dropping the ball. Greenslade there. And it's John Painter onto LaHoo. Quickly gets the kick in to McFarlane. McFarlane now looking to go for distance. Gets a bit of it too towards centre half forward, and there's Stephen Copping.
That's the player that I said hadn't done a lot before his last goal, and it's marvellous what confidence a goal can do for you, because that was a well-judged mark, had to back into the pack, never took his eyes off the ball, and now has the opportunity from just 30 metres out dead in front.
A goal here would make it most interesting for the Tigers, as Copping's kick is going to be pretty close. In fact, it's through. That's his second. 7-7, trailing Sturt 7-13.
Stephen Copping, that was only his third kick, in fact, and 2 of his 3 kicks have been goals. Let's have a look as Snout McFarlane breaks through the centre. Stephen Copping having to backpedal under the fall of the ball, knowing that pack's behind him, but never once did he shirk the issue, marked the ball beautifully overhead, and from 30 metres out made no mistake. The Bay 7-7, trail Sturt 7-13, and we've had 2 minutes of time on.
Carey towards Hodgman. Corbell loses possession, picked up by Klump towards Heinrich. Meanwhile, a free kick. Oops, the daisy. McFarlane and Klump. The free kicks with Klump. Klump now towards half forward. Oh, good mark. Excellent mark by Hargraves. An excellent play to Friedrichs, but that's not good. Holst intercept. Gave it back to Corns. Corns has Hodgman, but that's handball's ill-directed. McFarlane gives it to Corns. He really has got a fit of the fumbles today as Graham Corns. Pushed forward by Hodgman. Free kick before that. Hargraves and Hodgman tangle, and the game is certainly hotting up. Hargraves to Fry. Fry towards half forward, and there's Phil Heinrich again.
Well, last time we saw Heinrich with a kick, he took all day to kick it, and he's certainly not going to hurry on this occasion.
6 points the difference at the 28-minute mark of the second quarter, with Sturt leading. Heinrich has the ball at half forward. The kick travels 25 to 30 metres. Greenslade. Greenslade, who's been relatively quiet so far in this game. This is his third kick. From half back, it wobbles towards centre wing. Eddie Fry is in the way. 15-metre penalty against Snout McFarlane for that push after Fry had taken the mark. Fry's 9th kick. Been an effective player on centre wing. That's a high kick. It's travelled better distance. Perhaps 45 metres, almost marked from behind by Sims. Gathered by Sims, but umpire whistles up play again, and a bounce down on the half-forward flank.
6 points the difference. They've battled desperately, have Glenelg in this quarter. Kicking 7 goals, 7. In actual fact, they've kicked 7 goals, 5 for the quarter, because they had 2 at quarter time. Here's the opportunity now for Craig to kick the side's second goal for the quarter. And I think you'll find he has. That was a miraculous goal. I thought it had gone through a behind. That's the second for the quarter. 8 goals, 13 to 7 goals, 7.
Well, that's the difference in the sides, the fact that Sturt have been able to kick 2 goals against the Breeze. Let's have a look. Their famous check side play, back out to the centre of the ground, and Craig's kick held up in the air. You can see that Jimmy LaHoo was in the middle of the point post looking at go over his head, but it didn't. In fact, it swung right back to the goal square, and that was Sturt's 8th goal. 8-13 to 7-7.
Sturt into attack again as Ray Wilson it is that gathers, kicks towards half forward, but there's a timely mark taken by Peter French. 2 goals the difference as French kicks towards centre, and Hargraves coming into the game in the second quarter. Davies playing loose in defence. He's got a shoulder. He and Sims most of the ruck work. Right on siren time. Sturt 8-13 rather. 61 lead by 12 points over Glenelg 7-7-49.
trail, 12-8, Sturt 12-17, 5 minutes into the last quarter, and Glenelg are kicking with a 4-goal breeze.
Davies to Darrington towards half forward. French is there. Sims has the ball taken away from him. French soccers it off the ground. Corns evades the tackle. Has support from Greenslade. The Bays into attack again as Greenslade goes towards half forward. Dean! Beautiful mark. Immediately to Cornwall, who goes short. This is good. Just over the head of Copping, however, and Zilm timely in defence for the Double Blues. Kicks them towards centre wing. McFarlane and Fry it is. McFarlane has the front position. 1-on-1, ball close to the line and out of play. Oh, great mark by Robert Dean. Great handball to Cornwall, but just unfortunately for the Bays, the kick from Cornwall over the head of his intending target. Action out the side of Football Park. Davies the free kick. He plays on immediately, gives it to Comp. Comp goes in towards centre half forward. From behind it's Hargraves. Coleman for the crumbs. Picks it up, has a high kick. Centre wing. Wilson from behind. Marshall appeared to have the front position, appeared to take the mark, but the long arms of Wilson pulled it in. Ray Wilson, a penetrating kick towards centre half forward. It's over the head of all players. Coleman the first to recover. He has time to steady. Now kicks it back to Glenelg players, and Graham Corns sits, waits and takes the mark.
Little kick forward onto Malcolm Greenslade. Malcolm Greenslade now being gathered in by Klump, but got his kick down towards centre half forward. It's a big kick, an attempted mark, quickly flicked out by Bradley to Hodgman. Hodgman shot for goals is just offline and through for one behind.
Hodgie ignored the running player, perfectly set up by Cole, will run the tandem. Hodgie ignored him, elected to have a shot himself, and has paid the penalty, 1 point to score.
Glenelg slowly but surely whittling down this lead of Sturt. 20 points it was at three-quarter time. The difference now is 8 points. Hill to the outer side. Carey in front, doesn't hold it. Corn slips it back to Carey. Carey to Copping, back to Carey. He's only 30 metres out. Beautiful smothered by Hardeman. Copping goes after possession. Corn's now on the ground, but the tackling by Sturt is fierce, and a free kick to the Double Blues to Jim Darrington.
One handball too much allowed Gary Hardeman to come from the side and smother that ball tremendously.
Darrington kick is high over the head of Craig and out of play again. 12-17 Sturt leading Glenelg 12-5. 8 minutes gone in this final quarter.
And 8 points the difference too. With Sturt holding on to that lead. Taken by Davies, brought to the ground. Holster's there. Holst's kick. Forward, Hill to the ball, fall of the ball, and Hill takes the mark on the right half-back flank. Sturt led by 46 points at quarter time, 12 at half time, and 20 at three-quarter time. Corns. Graham Corns has worked this afternoon. Hasn't been as crisp as we know it. Here's Michael Graham. Graham's kicking towards the full forward position. Trevor Sims is there, used his body beautifully. French pats it towards the line, hoping that it'll go out of play. It does, and it's on the left half forward flank.
Bob Sims a bit unlucky not to get a free kick.
Possibly, but it was a piece of body work. It was man for man. I don't think there was a lot in it.
Sims and Kuhlman, neither of them can get the ball. Heinrich taps it clear, now comes back for possession and sees the ball go out of play.
You mentioned Graham Corns before. His work rate's been high, but his efficiency hasn't been as high as we've come to expect.
Throw in from the left half forward flank. Coleman it was doing the ruck work. Wilson, the kick towards half forward. Darrington's on his own. There's two Sturt players loose. Fry's one of them, and Eddie Fry accepts the mark. Oh, 15-metre penalty too. By golly, that could be very, very costly.
Well, Glenelg paid the penalty before for a 15-metre penalty when David Holt put Fredericks down just before three-quarter time, and we saw Farquhar on that occasion knocking Fry to the ground after he'd marked the ball.
Fry from 15 metres. Oh, bad kick from Eddie Fry. Sturt badly needing a goal. Offline and 1 point only.
Sturt leading now by 9 points. Kicking against what would be a 3 or 4 goal breeze. It started to go across the oval instead of straight up and down.
Yes, I would think that Jack Oatey wouldn't be all that pleased. The kick away, taken here by Weston. Weston's left foot kick in towards the forward pocket. McVicker showed enormous agility there from a big fella, and that's a magnificent effort from Colin McVicker. Oh, what a performance, big Cole. Second goal. 12-18 to 13 goals 9.
Well, after those 2 goals, the Glenelg officials will let him drive the tram up and down Jetty Road. Have a look. He's done it like a rover. He's head out from the pocket, gathered it in with his right hand, ignored Hodgman, kicked it over his shoulder from 40 metres out, and that's a tremendous goal to the big ruckman from Glenelg, Colin McVicker. Glenelg 13-9, trail Sturt 12-18, the Bays kicking with a 3-goal breeze.
Oh, what a game. 3 points the difference now at the 11-minute mark of this final quarter. Carey infringed. Davies still chatting with the umpire.
If Rick had as many kicks as Chats, he'd be best on ground.
Carey towards half forward. Corwell! And he's been paid. Hardeman thinking that play was going on, but that's not the way umpires saw it.
Twiggy Corwell can kick this goal from here, but he won't.
He goes short. The lead was from Walter. Awkward bounce. Hodgman the opportunity. Richard Hill's there in defence for the Double Blues. One support, goes for the line and out of play. Gets a shove in the back into the fence. 3 points the difference. Glenelg 13-9, Sturt 12-18. Throw in from the right half forward flank. Davies, Corwell went over the top. Heinrich got it to Craig. Got around Painter, dished it out to Darryl Smith. Darryl Smith now from centre half back, penetrating kick towards half forward. Here's the opportunity for Sturt if the ball sits for Zilm. Overruns it, plenty of time to go back. In fact, it's Heinrich, he's twisting and turning. Now he gets support. The ball to Fry at half forward. Can he atone for that previous miss? Kicks it in towards the full forward area. Good defence again by the Bays. Farquhar the long handball to Greenslade. Well shepherded by Marshall. Greenslade into the open spaces. Centre wing in front of the Channel 9 commentary position, and the ball is out of play.
Glenelg defenders backing each other very, very well on that occasion. They had 2 and 3 running to the side of the ball and able to give it out, and Greenslade sought their respite at the boundary line.
Beautiful kick it was too, as Carey gets the palm, taken there by Craig, lost by that player. The umpire put his whistle up to his mouth, changed his mind. Painter on to Caldwell, and Caldwell starting to emerge now as a force in this last quarter.
Been well contained for the first 3 quarters, but he's a dangerous player at this stage.
Down it goes to Copping, and Copping takes the mark again. Stephen Copping, relatively quiet this afternoon, but he's kicked 2 goals. This is his 5th kick, so he certainly has had a quiet one. But if he boots a goal here, 3 out of 5 is a fairly good scoring rate. The breeze is right over his shoulder. It'll only assist him. He's kicked it wide. There's 2 players down there. McVicker's taken the mark. Play on is the decision. And now it'll be taken clear by Casey. McFarlane and Fry. Johnny McFarlane tried to hook it in. Now goes to ground. Fry's over there. Well done, Johnny McFarlane. Kept the pressure on. Forced him well away. And that's beautiful play by John McFarlane.
Yes, tremendous pressure applied by McFarlane. Finally allowed Robbie Walter to come in and catch Eddie Fry in possession, and Walter now has the opportunity from 60 metres out on a half-forward flank.
Kick is long, it's going awfully close. McVicker goes after it. Has he taken the mark, or was it a point? A point to Walter. His personal tally is 1 goal, 2 out of Glenelg's 13 goals, 10.
2 points the difference. The Bays 88 points, trailing Sturt 90.
It's been a good game here at Football Park in the qualifying final. 3rd quarter wasn't all that spectacular, but it was tough and it was tight.
Free kick at half back, and it's going to Davies. Rick Davies, who's had a lot to say today to the umpires and probably hasn't done himself or his side much good by it. That's his 9th kick. It's a long one towards half forward. Craig in pursuit. It's awfully close to the line. In fact, it's out of play.
Craig's the player that the Glenelg side would want to watch. He'd be the players with the fittest pair of legs out there and give him a break towards that forward line. He could be very, very dangerous.
Davies and Carey come in to do battle. Glenelg into attack towards half forward, but the kick is out of bounds on the full, and Eddie Fry will take the penalty free kick. Fry goes along the boundary line, safety first, not too safe. In fact, he kicked it out straight out of bounds on the full, and a free kick to Carey it was. Carey has Weston loose at the centre and have found his man. Lovely pass. Oh, beautiful football from Weston. Slipped it to Hodgman. Hodgman's high kick into the pocket, looking for Dean. Watch McVicker from behind, can't take it. Hardeman caught. manages to get the handball, gives Campbell the opportunity. He has a sweep around the shoulder. Look at that! Is it a goal? No, 1 point. What a magnificent effort by Twiggy Campbell. And 1 point the difference at the 15-minute mark of the last quarter, Bob Hammond.
Caldwell emerging as a danger. 4 kicks in this quarter. An effective player. He'd have plenty of legs left. 12-18 Sturt, 90 points, leading Glenelg 13-11, 89, and we've had 15 minutes of the last quarter.
Plenty of time to win and lose the qualifying final out here this afternoon. A good kick back into play. McFarlane, Weston, Carey, Hodgman, pushed to the ground. Out it comes, Corns, that was beautiful play. Here's the opportunity now, the big kick in from Farquhar, goes up towards the line. The scores will be locked if they force it through, but the umpire's right on the scene. Colin Casey, number 20, with the ball in his hand. Colin McVicker, who kicked that brilliant goal only minutes ago. A point the difference. Football Park's the arena. Hardeman's in there. And again another bounce. Players becoming noticeably tired. It would be very difficult out there all day long with that stiff breeze or that wind. It's more than a breeze. Thumped away. Here's the chance now for Colin Casey to run the ball out towards Smith. Wilson it is, Ray Wilson, but he's forced away by David Marshall and the ball is out of play.
Had a brilliant third quarter, Wilson, been contained in the last.
Davies, who's been on the ball for the entire last quarter. Zilm conceding ground, but now goes across the face of goal. McFarlane and Fry. McFarlane has the front position, being pressured by Fry, gathers over the top towards Copping. Copping wants support, hasn't got it, got to do it alone. Does it well, regains his feet, now gives it to McFarlane, but been pinged for holding the ball, and that really is a cruel decision because he really made the play, Bob.
Yes, but he had an opportunity to get rid of it, and the umpire saw it that way and penalised the side, and that's a shocking kick at this stage of the game as David Holst receives that free kick from a full out of bounds on the full.
David Holst is 50 metres from goal. He centres the ball. Dean can't hold it. Hardeman gathers. Now kicks towards centre wing. Wilson coming down as Graham. Ray Wilson, the speedster, gathers in. Pressured by Marshall, but manages to get his kick towards half forward. French loses it, regains it. Wilson backing up, runs into trouble, gets caught. Here's the chance for Graham. Graham over the top, knocks it on cleverly to Hargraves. Lines up the goal, but a wobbly, awfully looking kick into the pocket, and Derrington has taken the mark. But he's awful, he's in a terrible kicking position, right on the line, kicking into that stiff breeze. Loose checking by the Bays. Farquhar remonstrating with his fellow defenders, allowed Michael Graham into his own spot, into the loose spot at centre half forward.
Bays caught out on that occasion. Sturt quickly thrust down to the ground. The pace of Graham caught them out, pushed the ball over. A shocking kick from Hargraves found Derrington, and Derrington's pushed this one back to Michael Graham, who's got it 45 metres out, kicking into a very stiff breeze.
Very important kick this at the 19-minute mark. Graham lines up the goal. It's going close, but not quite close enough from 1 point. So Sturt lead by 2 points at the 19-minute mark of the final quarter.
12-19 place, 13-11.
The ball brought back into play by Coolman. It'll go out of play, and the kick will be taken by Ray Wilson, who doesn't realise that he's got a free kick. But he certainly has. Ray Wilson, another short kick over to Friedrichs. And that's very loose work from Glenelg. Towards centre half forward. And that's a good mark taken back there by Michael Farquhar.
They need a good, long, strong kick out of defence from here. And they've done just that.
Down it goes to Hodgman. And Hodgman takes the mark backward to the centre position. Over it goes to Marshall. Another kick forward. LaHoo, Eddie Fry. Made a couple of bad mistakes, Eddie Fry. It's taken here by Davies. Davies bouncing his way forward, down towards centre half forward, and Trevor Sims is there, and Trevor Sims takes the mark.
The Bays are paying the penalty, not kicking long with this breeze, trying to finesse too much, making mistakes. Sturt sweeping upon it. Davies on that occasion swept on it in the middle of the ground and pushed it up to Sims.
A goal here to Trevor Sims would be awfully handy for his side, and it is awfully handy for his side, and it's through. 97-89, Trevor Sims' second goal.
Yes, trying to finesse too much with the ball, as we see Kimmy Hodgman, in fact, coming off the field, and for the first time in this match, Peter McInerney, that great little rover from the Bay, enters the arena, and they're going to rely upon his legs to carry the ball forward.
Difference at the 21-minute mark of the final quarter, and that may be a very telling goal for the Double Blues. Davies, oh, brilliantly to Craig. McInerney's the tackler, but Craig manages to get his kick. It's long, Sims can't take it. Here's a chance, Derrington. Caught, oh, hit the post. 1 point.
Did a tremendous job, Derrington. Come from 3 deep then with a superior turn of pace, was able to just to get a foot to the ball, but it hit the post. And there's a shocking kick from Keith Coolman for the second successive time.
Marshall did well to get it. Now he's lost it. Here's the chance for Hollis. The kick is on its way, and it's split the middle. And Sturt are charging home at the 21-minute mark. That's Wilson's third, it's Hollis's third. 14 goals 20 to 13 goals 11.
Keith Coolman, one of the best kicks in league football, has made 2 shocking errors with his last 2 kick-outs and paid the supreme penalty on that occasion when Hollis seized the ball from 30 metres out, steered it through for Sturt's 14th goal. 14-20, Sturt leading Glenelg 13-11, 22 minutes into the last quarter.
Centre bounce again, McVicker taken by Craig, and the Double Blues are into attack again. Friedrichs high kick towards half forward. In front and a good mark. Darryl Smith at centre half forward has taken it for the Blues. Really, this last 5 minutes have belonged to the Double Blues as Smith kick is high. Sims from behind, here's another chance. Hollis deep in the pocket. Coolman comes across, pushes Hollis through the behind post. Another point to the Double Blues to take them to 14-21, leading Glenelg 13-11.
Let's have a look now what Coolman does with the ball. This is a better kick straight down the middle of the ground, and they need plenty of these. The opportunity, thumped away by Farquhar. Weston over there, noticeably slower. Hardeman, Weston, Hardeman again. Wilson, number 31, goes without possession of the ball. The Twiggy's there as well. He gets the ball held to his body, and at centre half forward, the bounce will take place. 16 points the difference, and I think that might be just enough. Tapped away. Friedrichs. Copping is there. The Glenelg players just looking that little bit tireder than Sturt. McVicker and Davies, Friedrichs. The chance for Copping again. Knocked on by McVicker, who's tried valiantly this afternoon. Wilson, Wiseman and Davies, and now it's Fry. A long hand pass from Fry is a beauty, but Farquhar comes down. He got rid of the ball. McInerney kicks it off the ground. And Mark Heinrich kicks forward. Smith tackled, shrugs clear from centre half forward, kicks the ball on its way. It's going to go up, through for 1 behind.
Sturt doing all the attacking in this last 5 minutes. Now lead by 16 points, and we've had 24 minutes of the last quarter. Coolman the kick out.
The long kick is straight down the middle of the park. Weston went one-handed. Hardeman after it, soccers it off the ground, back towards Craig. There's a lucky break, but an effective one as Craig boots it towards the centre full forward area. From behind it's French, pushes it out towards Holst. Holst goes back to Lahoo. Lahoo now plenty of time to steady, drives towards the grandstand side, kicks it too wide, almost out of bounds on the full, but just inside the line.
Well, Jimmy Lahoo, that's the way to defend, but it's certainly not the way to win the game. Trailing by 16, 17 points with only a minute to go before time on the last quarter. The Bays have got to come down the centre of the ground.
Friedrichs for Heinrich. Chance for Hargraves. Slips it back towards Heinrich. Ball doesn't sit for him, but Hollis gathers, has a shot for goal. It's a beauty! Oh, what a ripper! Paul Hollis's 4th goal, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Sturt certainly now got this game sewn up club-headed.
Well, that's the sealer, Paul Hollis, 2 goals in this last quarter, an effective player. Let's have a look at the handball over from Hargraves. Heinrich eluded him. Hollis, the gatherer on that occasion, swung onto his left foot, had a Sturt player in the square, ignored him and was able to kick the goal. 15-22 Sturt, leading Glenelg 13-11, and we've had 25.5 minutes of this the last quarter.
Tremendous performance by Sturt. Davies got the palm again. Heinrich's over there. McInerney's back. McInerney has to hand pass backwards towards Holst. The chance now for Smith. Smith dishes it out. The double blues doing it beautifully at the moment as Derrington kicks up towards Trevor Sims, and Trevor Sims will get the free kick.
French charged the body, took the eyes from the ball, and the big balding number 4, Trevor Sims for Sturt, to take this free kick just 10 metres out on a very acute angle.
It's his 13th kick, and with his 13th kick, Trevor Sims brings up his 3rd goal, and that's a magnificent performance from the Blues, running right over the top of Glenelg.
Big player, number 4, Trevor Sims, has been a valuable player for the Sturt side all day. He's been solid in ruck. He's done his work very well up forward. And there he is, thanking Jimmy Derrington for that one. Jimmy Derrington pushed it over to Sims, and the big fella made no mistake. 16-22 to 13-11, and we've had a minute and a half of time on, and I'm afraid the result is Sturt for the second semi-final next Sunday.
Sturt working it out of the centre, doing it hard but doing it well. Friedrichs and Wilson is in there. Holst is there for Glenelg, number 20. Quick hand pass across for Graham, and Graham's long kick goes in towards the square and through for 1 behind. Michael Graham, since coming onto the ball, since coming onto the ground, has given the Blues plenty of drive. In actual fact, he's had 6 kicks. Kuhlman's kick down the centre of the ground once again. Behind was Craig. McVicker down towards to McInerney. McInerney on the left half forward flank. Wiseman goes across for possession. Nearly gets it. Now he has control. Over to Zilm. Zilm running the ball down towards the right half forward flank, looking for Smith. Smith sees the ball bounce out of his hands and towards the boundary line. He keeps it in play. Heinrich there, number 16, getting away from Corns, but went without possession of the ball. McFarlane, Painter, tackled, too slow, knocked to the ground. Beautiful work there from Davies on to Smith. Smith down towards Heinrich, but out of play.
There's no doubt Sturt have cinched victory, and they're going right on with the job. Their tackling is excellent in this quarter. Their use of the ball and their preparedness to run up against the breeze has been superb.
Lahoo's kick down towards the centre wing. McVicker takes it, gets it across to Painter. Painter's kick is a beautiful one, straight down the throat of Stephen Copping. Copping plays on immediately, over towards Weston, controlled that beautifully, and now from centre half forward, launches a big booming kick towards the square. Carey's back there, hasn't been sighted too much in this last quarter. Walter chasing, Wiseman has it. He gets the hand pass across to Hardeman. Hardeman loses his footing. Picked up by Painter, a short little kick across, but Mark Heinrich comes through beautifully. Over towards Davies. Davies has got it. Hand passes out again to Heinrich. It stands up awkwardly, taken there by Copping. Copping's short kick over to McInerney is a beauty, and McInerney marks.
Weston down in the centre of the ground, obviously cramped up. The captain's done everything that he can for his side, but hasn't had enough support.
McInerney kicks the ball right towards the square. Dean is up there. It goes through his hands and through for 1 behind.
16-23 Sturt, leading Glenelg 13-12, and we've had 4 minutes of time on, and in fact that is the final score. Sturt go into the second semi-final next Sunday to play Port Adelaide.
Final scores: Sturt 16 goals 23 to Glenelg 13 goals 12.
How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Paul Bagsahw, yeah, great win.
Tremendous win, yes, David. I thought we were gone, but full credit to the boys. They came back, and a few fellas really put their heads down.
1 point in front with about 18 minutes gone, and they looked gone.
Yes, they did, I must admit, but in true Sturt tradition, they came back. And
you didn't take your own place today?
No, I got the walk.
Got the walk?
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Yeah, good. Thanks very much. Peter Hargraves, a great game, Peter.
Thank you.
Hard?
Yeah, very hard. Big oval.
You look gone. I thought 18 minutes into that final term, when the difference is only a point, but a great final last 12 minutes.
Yep. Everyone seemed to run for each other. We finally put it together. And
conditions trying?
Well, Yeah, it was a bit. The wind, when you're kicking with it, it was even difficult then, but I don't know, when you work together, get it going, you get the end result, hopefully, and we'll do it next week.
Thanks, Peter, and
Thank you.
congratulations on your own game.
David Darcy there talking to